Hey there, it is Phoenix Amore. So, you guys have gotten to see where they put out this article about the CO2 emissions in that one place. I put the article on Facebook and going to put it on my Twitter page so you guys can see it. It's such a fabulous thing that they are finally linking some of what I said when I said I stopped breathing, right? And all these things from a scientific level. You have to understand now why I had to push some of the mundane marketing fools out of the way. Like, please stop trying to relate or trying to front like you even get this because it's over your head. So the whole thing that I need to make very clear to people is you have these folks not willing to sit here and act like all these earthquakes have been climate change and all. Nobody wants to do that. That's stupid. That doesn't even make sense to sit there and try to fool people. If you're going to be objective across the board. Nobody has time for this pity pat back and forth crap that's been going on with them. So when this whole thing became supposedly this competitive thing, or they want somebody to supposedly be Phoenix Amore, this is the only Phoenix Amore. Do not get it twisted. So let's see something. Now you see this whole imagery that I was using for people to finally understand what it is that I am able to see. For real, prophetess. For real, prophetess. All right, so let's see here. I used a couple of cards now that people are finally getting to that point where they're understanding. High Priestess, we're going to start here for people to understand very clearly. This was the moon I was referring to. This is a real priestess, prophetess, right? This prophetess would know exactly what I'm speaking of when I talk of moon and all that. So when you're talking about biblical stuff and the moon and the stars, when the Bible is talking that's like, don't get it twisted. God created all this and God is in control of all this. Is your God the one that did this, this, and this? So the Bible is describing all these things. This is the moon I was referring to. So, and this is a real prophetess. Understand that very clearly. I also talked about judgment, right? The judgment card here, the imagery, as you can see, understanding now that Hades place, that we'll call it, where they've noticed birds flying over it, guess what? Death, boom, just like that, emitting, right, that CO2, which is the same thing that volcanoes emit when they're, guess what, erupting and all that kind of stuff. So do you now understand from a scientific point when I say God is a genius? So here you have these birds dying, not randomly. It is really by design. This is where the Bible talks about by design, God's design and all that. That's going to kill the birds. They fly through that. So again, when I talk about that night I stopped breathing, when I talk about astral projection and all that, that's in the Bible. When the Bible says things like you can fly like eagles and all that, that is very deep and is very real. This is what I'm speaking of in this regard. So I talked about this being me. I'm able to see because it's ordained in my chart to have certain gifts. Those 3 planets in the 8th house related to Pluto, that's what that's all about. It's saying this person has an ability to go into 8th house, right? If you understand, 8th house is also linked to Hades. Does not mean this person is from hell or anything. It means this person can interact on that realm. So you understand now, guys, when I kept saying things like, I'm trying to tell you that veil broke. The veil broke, okay? Meaning all this. So you have, look here. How many volcanoes are erupting right now? Hello, ring of fire. Look at the imagery. I gave you guys the biggest clue ever using this card over and over again. Like, I know what I saw. Now you got 3 volcanoes erupting. That same kind of what? CO2. I understand when I said something about hell and coming for somebody. That's what I meant. That has nothing to do with me. That's saying, okay, stuff is hitting the fan. And this is the message I received. This is why, a part of the reason why. And if you understand now all this marketing spin about somebody being mother of universe and all that, because it's like God knowing they're going to keep on spinning it like this lady. Not my problem. Do what you do. I'm just a messenger saying the veil broke, and this is what I'm supposed to deliver as the message. So I put also judgment and that devil card together, right? And you even saw some people mock that, which is one of those things where I'm like, that's interesting. That these same people who supposedly believe in God and all this stuff, right, would sit there and mock that kind of thing. Understanding now when I kept saying not affiliated, understanding when people try to make you be their prophetess or their muse or whatever, you have every right to push back and say you will not dirty and mundane the gifts that God has given me. That's why I push back so hard on people like that. Like, I don't think so, and I don't have to like certain people, and I don't have to pretend like I'm letting somebody be me and all that. I'm not going to do it. So now you guys understand that very clearly. So I'm trying to find this devil card. When I was saying things like at all, now people get it, right? Hades and all this gas emission. Understand now the 3 volcanoes that are erupting. This is exactly what I was seeing. And for people to ignore the message over and over again, I'm trying to tell you, every time they keep trying to market like somebody is universe mother and all this kind of stuff, went from empress to all this, I'm sitting there going, I wonder if they realize this going to keep on happening. And now everybody is seeing, damn, this really did happen. 3 volcanoes at once, and they still conjure up stuff. I don't have to intervene. Guess why? When I'm hearing things like this, because they're into that Illuminati stuff, that don't have anything to do with me. I'm still just a messenger with a direct channel, as I say, to God himself. When I say I am the instrument, this was it. Okay, all hell came for so-and-so. It's staring you guys in the face. That's not a versus. That's simply I'm the messenger in that regard. Not your messenger, not certain people's messengers that kept trying to make it so. No, that's an N and a capital O. And if you need both capitals, that's a capital N and a capital O. Now you guys get it. Take care.